stones. I feel the memory of the earth, voices rising from the ancient dark, calling fire into rebirth. The old ones speak through breaking light, through wind that carves the sacred lore. They lift the past into the present to guide the path we walk once more. Bringing the past to the present for a future forged in flame, where wisdom flows like rivers old and the stones recall our name, where creation stirs like thunder, where the universe draws near, and the awe of the wide and ancient sky cuts through doubt and fear. Every heartbeat is a promise, carried forward from the stars. Every sunrise holds a secret, hidden deep in who we are. I feel the strength of all before me, ancestor, mountain, storm, and sea. Their power rises in my spirit, their knowledge walks with me. Bringing the past to the present for a future fierce and strong, where the wisdom of the ages flows in me and flows in you, where the stones awaken power, where the sky reveals the whole, and the wonder of the endless cosmos sets the fire in the soul. Bringing the past to the present so the future learns to shine in the dawn of life's great mystery. The ancient strength is mine.
We're gonna have to figure out how to age Jacob in that thing, man. He's grown like a damn weed. Like a weed, like kudzu, like mimosa. He is exploding. As we'll see tonight. Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Greetings.
Where's my light? There's my light. I got a new like scaffolding in front of me to like block off visually stuff, and the light is hints in a new place, and I don't think I like it. It's like, what is that, man?
Doesn't have intensity levels because it seems to be too strong. No, that's
Yeah,
even worse.
it's
That's too much light, man. Too
Well,
much
see what
light.
I know what I usually do is I usually have this thing which is there now. I usually have it like sort of
Oh, but I
down.
think it did the trick. I think that the camera, when you turned the other light off.
I tricked it.
Yeah, I think yes, it did.
Well, we've got the candle in the shade at least there. I don't know. I'll mess with it when it's your turn so I can distract everybody with working on my lighting. How's Wisconsin, man? How's your day been? Mine has. Hello, everybody in the chat. We see Sarah, we see Jacqueline, we see Doc, Miss CMS, thank you, and Brian, hot off representing Mars Disclosure quite well, I hear.
Great job.
Yeah, congratulations, Brian. That's a project we're all just tickled and pleased to be a part of. You know, timing is so important, and it's just it's lovely and divine timing to me how you and then you and I together sort of stumbled into not only knowing and interviewing these people, but becoming part of this project of pushing for Mars disclosure. Has just been beautiful to watch unfold, and I'm happy to see it progressing nicely with Brian's appearance today.
Sure, absolutely. I haven't saw it all, so I still have to watch the rest of it. But it looks
Same.
he did an excellent job.
Dude, I put my video together. We filmed it this morning. Jacob and I is what I mean by we. We went and
They can hold the camera, obviously.
obviously, but he can wait nicely in the car while I was in the museum and got an impromptu lecture, from a gentleman there that seemed to run things. Dickerson was his name. He was lovely. We'll see him in the video, so I'll quit talking about it. But yeah, man. So we had a full day. We went and did that, and then I was just getting it thrown together. And so I got on the phone with Dave's Multiverse, who sort of has put together. We're under the umbrella of his station for this Mars disclosure. But we were just speaking on other matters, and he was trying to get the proper link to watch this thing. And then once I got on the phone with him, I realized I was under time crunch, and I had to sit there and let my video upload in the studio. Anyway, to make sure I could sit down here with you and the audience and look at it. But yes, I also look forward to going back and rewatching. But I know Sarah and Dave and John Ward were there for him. So glad to see the community, sticking together. I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's it. When we all find something we believe in and people, that we believe in, it's nice to see these group community efforts, supporting each other. So well done there on many fronts, guys.
And if people is not seeing me on X or most, it's because in here I don't have internet outside of either the house or the office of Jim Shears, so I'm limited to connection. So that's why
for those that haven't seen us in a while, dude, you can catch him up. I don't know if they didn't see our last roundtable. Ricardo is in Wisconsin, doing some boots on the ground in many ways, doing the Lord's work. He has some people, because there's obviously a little built-in suffering.
Let me just go and hide the arsenic and the weapons.
Right. When you're having lunch at 4:30, or dinner, at 4:30 with the elderly there. But Ricardo is documenting some, or helping, we should say, assist in getting officially documented and on record and well known some work of some elderly wizened one and adventurers and scholars. Ricardo's just boots on the ground, man. Putting together programs and going to the library and making sure books and files and shit was, I've heard the backlog here. So tell them what you're doing, bro.
I tell you what I'm doing. Yesterday, I grabbed. So I was very generously able to bring my dear Lord a DJI with me. So I thought, well,
okay, that's a camera.
Yeah. It's a camera with a gimbal, so it's always stable.
Oh, that's badass.
And when you turn, it doesn't turn as you turn. It turns slowly, so it's always cinematic, and the pans are always perfect, and so on.
And see, I'm always trying to do that with my hand. That's
yeah, and
fancy.
It's not expensive. In fact, they are now on the Model 3. This is Model 2. This has some features that are better than the other one, but the other one, at least you have a screen. And what happened to me doesn't happen so often. That is, it snowed immensely here, right? So I thought I already filmed the walk up to Spirit Rock, which is a very important rock that starts a long distance alignment here that includes sacred geometry. That's one of the things that Jim is working and I'm helping. And so I thought, well, it should look completely different now that everything is covered in 15 inches of snow. So I put the boots on, I grabbed the camera, and I walked from here up to the trail and then did the trail. And when I started the trail, I pressed the record button, right? And walked with the camera in my hand, filming, doing pans, reaching Spirit Rock, going around it, right? And and then coming back. And so when I got home, I realized the camera was in photo mode. So what I did was take a picture of the starting of the trail.
I did the same damn thing at Corn
So-
Creek the other day. Yeah.
So, but luckily, I still got. I also took the photograph camera and I took some pictures. So you can see my trail was that it was completely pristine, which I returned there today with the snow to film again, and this time I did film it. But today the snow wasn't pristine, and yesterday it was just a coyote's trail. So it was just my foot next to a coyote's trail going to Spirit Rock.
See, that was your spirit walk. You weren't supposed to be recording that damn part. That's the lesson I learned, man. When I wish you'd have learned it sooner, but that's when you should have gone, oh yeah, it's me and the coyote, and oh, what can I learn? Yeah. It's beautiful though, dude. That's awesome that you did have a spirit walk. You just accidentally
snow by my knees, crush, and film nothing.
There was something there other
But
folks
it's beautiful.
weren't supposed
It is.
to see. Yeah.
It is absolutely beautiful here. In fact, I just have to go to the window to see. I have a lake in front of me that is frozen today, but it wasn't when I arrived, and it's everything is beautiful. And somehow maybe it's because I'm from Portugal and don't have snow, but it looks even more beautiful in the snow. Right, and the frozen creeks. I have some pictures that we can watch. The frozen creeks, and Jason just entered the video.
Jacob, just he just tore down a curtain.
Just pull it to the ground, no problem.
It's like, who's working in the kitchen? That's no, that's on four legs.
He's making a bone. He's heating a bone.
Well, see, I blocked it so he couldn't get through this little screen because the cord kind of hangs over and he would accidentally trip. And so I put a chair there. And so he's like, all right, fuck you then.
What is this thing?
I will get your attention. All right.
Hi, Rose. Welcome.
Jacob, say hello to the chat. Hang on.
Jaren Bart. Sarah.
What do you know?
Jacqueline. Brian, we already talked about him. Let's see who else is in here. And wow, it's a lot of comments in the chat. It's hard to get to the top. MRSC MS.
We're not trying to put it back up, man. Just put
So
it on the
welcome
table.
everybody. And Ro asked, what is the subject today? Well,
True, yeah. So, Ricardo was catching us up on Spirit Rock. So, the subject matter I bring to the table is I just filmed a new video and put out today. Twofold, Rue. We're going to take a look at the Wetumpka impact crater. I won't speak too much on it because in the video we're going to watch, we get educated by a professional on it, and I get boots on the ground. But also, the native mound, Rue, which I've discovered, and anybody who's seen any of my stuff is familiar with, that's crescent shaped. It hit me this week. I'll just tell this part of the story to get us rolling. I've been going up just north of the impact crater, for anybody that's seen the recent videos, filming at what I call in there Swayback Bridge Trail, and all along Corn Creek, right? So as I'm constantly been drawn to this place, there's days and days and days I don't film. My brain just starts thinking on the impact crater, because you're driving by it. It caused this geography, and I just start getting in my head. Look at a map. Look at a map of the thing. You haven't. How long has it been? And in my brain, I remember. I'm very analog, when it comes to stuff. I could just grab the phone, but I remembered the roadside sign. So anyway, I swing and look at that, and it dawns on me, that this crescent mound is apparently not a crescent, or is a crescent for a reason, because it's oriented just as this impact crater is, even, precisely sort of north, south, east, west alignment.
I was going to ask you that. It is in the same
It is,
position.
yeah, position, right. I'm not going to tell you at all how accurately, but if you were just to look at them, as I try to sort of showcase in the video, If you just look at the north and south, this seems to be a map. And as Ben Dickerson was telling me today, and I got this on video, he was giving his presentation, saying that this they originally thought might be a caldera, even in the early 1800s. I forget. He'll give you all the info. But as he's telling me that's when it officially, became noted as a impact crater. I realized the impact, no pun intended, of the natives having already understood this place, and mapped it out. It speaks volumes, honestly, to native capabilities. It's not a surprise, honestly, since and I discussed this in the video. They already obviously could lay out mound structures around here, but I just explore that correlation, and the site and the museum.
Well, look forward to see it. I just want to say that one of the discussions I had with Jim Shears today is he was showing me the work he's done since yesterday and comparing notes and giving him the research he asked me. And I asked him, because we're talking about long distance alignments between mounds and structures supposedly built by indigenous peoples or by someone else that was here at the time. And one of the things that he was censored, right, is because he was proposing sacred geometry and long-distance alignments between these mounds, like a relation that these groups of mounds in certain areas have. And I told him, so have you ever heard of Nata Playa? I said, no, I haven't. And so I pushed a few papers on Nata Playa on the screen with the diagrams and alignments and long-distance alignments, all in the paper, peer-reviewed papers. And so if it is outside of the United States, the primitive people would have the ability to do these things. But if it is in the United States in a much recent date, then because Nata Playa is almost 8,000 BC, they don't accept it because the indigenous people didn't know how to possibly do those things, right? So this is so how should I say it? Hypocritical? Is that the way to say it?
It is, and I think it's something we've explored on many of our shows. The reasons, possibly going all the way back to land grants and narratives that were put in place for reasons politic. I don't know, but it is fair to say that hypocritical needing for the natives to not have these possibilities, which are evident once you start looking at them. It has always been curious to me, man. I don't know what to tell you about that.
Well, in his work he's doing now and in these maps and preparing the what does he call it? I can't remember, but it's a thick thing that it should come out every year for the AES, Ancient Earthwork Society, a journal. Thank you very much. And so I lost my train of thought. I don't know what I was saying.
Dude, don't waste the mental transfer of me knowing what word you were hunting for there.
What was the topic? You had to help me. What was the topic? Because I lost
I'm good for a word. So you were talking about.
Oh yes, I know what I was saying. I know what I was saying. So I'm sorry. So I haven't stopped since I arrived. Okay, so it's
same. That's why I was prefacing for everybody, man. We just sat down, literally.
So he's finding the distance between the mounds are equivalent to a Fibonacci sequence or to the relation of 1.61, right? And so it isn't accidental because he mapped it in 3 different sites. So these people either had we are calling now a practical sacred geometry, which he doesn't require the knowledge of mathematics, because it's done directly on the ground by the use of ropes and stakes, and another instrument that I can't remember the name. That is like a measure stick. They were already practicing sacred geometry way before that. So it is just the fact that even in the university, he was warned he had to stop teaching that to the students. because there
Yeah.
was no understanding of mathematics in the ancient world. So,
You're talking about James.
sorry,
James was
James
told that.
Shears. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. He was
that makes
threatened in
sense.
university. He have to stop it. So, well, but let's not diverge. Let's see what you got for us today. And I think there is someone proposing. It's saying it's not an impact crater. Is a cathodic pinch formed by the electromagnetic force junction. It's the same as Big Rock in the Joshua Tree area. I don't know if you listen about this from your presentation today, but
No, I mean I'm open to all kinds of theories, so I'm happy to listen. No, today I got the standard scientific, academic explanation from the gentleman that was working there at the Wetumpka Impact Crater Commission, which really they've got. I couldn't speak highly enough about, for what I'm sure is minimal funding. They have a really nice example set up, and in pieces of the rock that I'm always sort of showcasing, in its raw form. And some very knowledgeable staff, and Ben was such. And so I had him, pointing at maps and a little 3D model. Obviously, I did tell him, you'll see in the video, whatever, that my theory about this little mound I found, and he was quite intrigued.
did you already release his family?
Release his family, yeah. No, funny
Because
enough,
he was so helpful. He's looking so helpful that I'm wondering,
No,
did you
you
show a
joke.
photograph
You-
of his family?
if you want the real story, listen, you joke knowing, as always, half the truth. So I walk in and he's standing there, and behind the counter, he's this very handsomely dressed, black gentleman, and I'm sort of thinking like school teacher, I don't know, retire. It's just he's got that, look about him, and there's this lady behind the counter, and there's this couple over here, right? And I'm just going in trying to see if I can in any way, without being rude, make a little video when I see this model, because this model, man, I was tripping out on, because this model is like a model of the mound, having
That's what
been
I
on the
saw as
mound.
soon as you posted
Yeah,
that, that's
having
what I
been on
saw.
the mound so much, man, I see this little model, and so I'm trying to think, is there a way I can make a video quietly, right? And so I get down and I'm doing that, but I'm listening to the chatter, and as I finished that video, the lady who was behind the counter, so I thought worked there, I walked in and was all, yeah, hello, thinking that was, receptionist or something. Anyhow, to finish and wrap up and keep moving, it was his family, right? And I heard as they were walking out, they said something like, "Yeah, I think he does a podcast too," because they caught me doing the little subtle video. So I just didn't hide it, And once he started educating me, I just broke it out and recorded what he
Just
was
like
telling
that.
me. Well, no, so you'll see the camera. I try to hold it like the map he's pointing to, and I'm making eye contact like a normal human being. I'm not all what do you want to call it? Trying to give off the influencer vibe or anything. But once I realized the opportunity, I had no idea this was even a thing, right? I just learned about this center yesterday. I certainly, when I walked in, was not expecting to walk in. He had just begun giving the walkthrough. And he sort of restarted for me, and that's what I record, which was very gracious of him. So I want to make sure to be positively plugging them if people are interested.
I think it's the power of holding 3 guns and a big knife when you so.
It is, it's all part of the look, and I've got Jacob in the back seat now, just sitting there, black eyes, everything. You can't
Showing his
tell what
teeth
he's
at
looking
him.
at. Yeah, hurry up with him. I'm hungry. So it was fun though. It was a lot of fun and very educational.
Well, you prepared that. I just want to say, yeah, Rue. So the Neanderthals were already sailing. From the paper I read, I don't know, maybe last month, end of last month, they were doing more than 100 miles crossings at sea. So there's no land to be seen from that distance. It's clearly sailing. And as Sarah put, they had boats. And by the way, if you haven't seen, go and watch this week's news from our sister podcast, Universe Unveiled, and you'll see more stuff about Neanderthals and some interesting magnets from Sarah.
Yeah, we can't speak highly enough and send you guys over towards the universe unveiled emphatically enough. If there are individuals that can be trusted with this community endeavor and wanting to be part of it and putting forth the genuine everyday effort to be it, it's these two ladies, and I'm happy to be sitting on their side. Otherwise, I'd be on the other side dodging flip flops all day, and that gets old. So, if I'm going first, yeah, man.
Yeah, go on, man.
Okay. Let's hop over to Wetumpka.
The audience shouldn't be worried. It's only 3 hours and 17 minutes. So
Yeah, no, it's about 30 minutes, right? Which is why I was not going to give all the exposition, but I'll jump through some of the I put in parts just for comedic stuff and having fun with Jacob, so we don't have
falling
to
down in the museum.
right. So we don't have to, go through it, like that. But it should be stated that to me, I tried not to really push this theory other than a little bit of talking about it in the video. I just wanted to show the lidar, which you're about to see, of the mound, right, and the effigy piece representing it, and then the map of this this impact crater, right? This landscape was obviously very, very special to these natives. Not only do we know from the DeSoto Chronicles, but I know from having spent years on the ground in this landscape. They were here and they were harvesting this quartz and this shocked quartz and this mica and this petrified wood, right? And they were using these materials and this landscape. So it was not a shock for me to then see this, but it was joy. It was like a shock of joy when I realized that what we could have evidence of is the natives understanding this landscape to a level that we did not technically manage until the late 1800s, early 1800s.
Okay. And the gentleman or I think it's a gentleman that put on the indication about the crater is now corrected, the location. Thank you for that.
Okay, bro, are we full screen?
We are. I'm gonna give it a little bit more. Now we're gone, it's just a screen.
Okay. Welcome to your look from near the site of Mobila, your look at the star wound, the impact crater of Wetumpka, Alabama. I mentioned here, upcoming in the video, that afterwards I would travel this direction and let you see what you could see from this high point. So here I am. It was a really good time today with Jacob, with Ben Dickerson, down at the Wetumpka Impact Crater Commission Museum they have set up. All of it upcoming, so I'm going to quit talking about it and let you see roughly what I meant when I say later that 12 miles that way, perhaps 11, as the crow flies, less than a mile that way is the mound. I'll show you the lidar of the mound so you can compare it with the map and the imagery of the crater. Let me know what you think. Now we're going to take you over there to the base for a tour. Okay, so just for audience clarity, this here, I was trying to get this out fast. This is LiDAR, and it's one of the poorer LiDAR images of the mound, the earthwork. And there it is on the effigy piece. Check X for those. So that's the crater. I hear you texting. And it's spring
I'm
splendor.
working, man.
I know, man. You're nonstop. So this gives you immediate perspective. We are heading from the west towards the east across now the Coosa River.
It's the preparations for the equinox on Friday.
See the
We're
Indian
going to a group
casino
and
down there on the
some
left.
indigenous people too.
Awesome. You can see all the rocks from the impact, shattered. The quartz north at Corn Creek. And the little town of Wetumpka, Alabama, situated directly on the crater rim. We need to head that way in hopes of finding the Impact Crater Commission at 124 Company Street. Oh, we missed the Masonic Lodge. That was behind us.
Yeah, you
That's
missed
the
the ceremony.
courthouse. I come up behind it in a minute. Coming up on.
Oh, you're entering by the back door to the lodge.
Seen
Okay.
Right. The 90s Tim Burton underground flick, tunnel, Big actually, bro. Fish. Then you'll recognize much of this scenery, including what is now, to my understanding, hang on, an art museum. There, that white house, that was Albert Finney's house in the Tim Burton movie Big Fish. Okay, well, we're gonna park. Jacob's back here, and we're gonna find the Wetumpka Impact Crater Commission. Okay, so the Wetumpka Impact Crater Commission, almost 3 C's, got 2. Jacob, man, just there you go. There you go. Just hang on. Good boy. Okay, so we're taking a walkabout. We're going to head down to the river to document, some of that, show you the way the rocks are, echoing out from the crater rim. But here, I thought you got a really cool shot from this high ground of some of the old structures. Now, both of those, a few years back, were heavily damaged in a tornado and, put back with some new and improved elements you see on that one. So we're standing on the eastern bank of the Coosa River down there. The dam is closed today, fortunately, so the water's a little lower. We can get a look at some of the rocks. And then the bridge, which we crossed over a moment ago. And then here behind us, leading up to Crater Rim. Okay, dude, you ready? Let's go. Let's go check out the water. So we've made it over to the water here at the Coosa River. And look, you'll see what I mean by these rocks, right? They're all jutting out. Here I am at the furthest side of the edge of the rim, which continues on. This is a 5-mile diameter crater. Closer view of the arch bridge. And then here, large rocks. You got it, Jake. Hold fast. Rock-like walls here. Now, this is blooming on the Coosa. The southernmost really iteration of rocks of this sort that you see. Now, obviously here, set off by the impact crater, but this geology, the effects it have, continue all the way up the river to what is now, Lake Jordan, thanks to the dam. But Jacob and I were out yesterday back at Swayback, taking trails we've never found, and you see the rocks beginning to exhibit themselves in the impact-like pattern, right, as though some sort of force, was at play. Yeah, it's a beautiful and interesting landscape, heavily inhabited, and obviously, dude, that's a cliff. Obviously inhabited by the natives, and if, as it appears, I'm going to have to pull him back up.
Is it the
This
crater
star
that is 85
wound,
million,
as we
or
call
is
it, was-
is your money 85 million? That's why you're out so much.
So that is the purported age, and as gets explained here shortly by Mr. Dickerson, that's based on some core drills that were taken at the center of the crater. They went down, I think he said 500 feet before they found the layer that should have been on the top, right? So, you know, that's how they determined it was impact, I guess, and not volcanic. But yeah, he talks all about the science of it here coming up shortly. Also, yeah, just lots of cool facts, man. They talk about where did the crater go, and there's minerals they found in this thing that are sort of off-world. You know, that pretty much illustrate that when this thing impacted it, you know, just obliterated. Mimicked in the burial mound at the site of Mobilla, which by all means, look, everywhere you see what could appear to be mounds there, all through this landscape. But what appears to the naked eye to be a mimicry of potentially this impact crater would have certainly been possible. These people may not have had maps as we understand them, but we can tell better than Jacob can tell that's a cliff, that because of the mound sites, because of the alignments, because of the construction, you know, obviously they could map terrain quite well and efficiently. And with the quartz that is produced thanks to this, this would have certainly been, and because as I say, when you're familiar with the landscape, it is most abruptly different, right? And it only dramatically, you know, increases as you head north. And this structure, which I'll travel later over towards Mobilla and show you from a high point, you know, you can see this would have been known to these people. The quartz harvesting, which is evident all up and down this river, the artifacts. I don't think it's preposterous at all, having posited this could be the burial place of Tuscaloosa's son, slain at the Battle of Mobilla, that it would have indeed mirrored the star wound.
Jason, you speak in such a way, I almost said amen 3 times.
The rainbow's not a limbs effect either. I'm seeing that. We're gonna totally turn this into a chemtrails versus contrails video, aren't we? We better not. Come on, Jacob. Ready to roll.
He's already biting something.
He was
Well,
the
he's
leash.
gnawing at the statue. He was
The
gnawing
leash.
the foot of the
Yep.
statue.
He knows everything, bro.
This side. It's a lot harder to manage him in town, guys.
All right, so here's the map.
But
Check
here we have our first signage for the crater. Nice view of the rocks down below. And here we can see the map. And we can see definitively sort of that echo, along with the number 7, of what we heretofore have been calling the Crescent Mound.
In order to create
I suppose now we can.
in order to create such a crater, it has to be in a very shallow angle, right?
Yeah, the trajectory. That's
You're too far away.
That's one thing that Ben speaks on is the reason the southern end of it is eroded like that was the very low trajectory it had. Yeah, absolutely. But already there you can see. I mean, I could, if I could be more efficient with screen sharing, I'd pull up the lidar. Anyway, we'll do that at the end for anybody that sticks around. But you'll see that this thing already from this map mimics this mound perfectly. All right, let me minimize this and let's keep that rolling.
Start to call the Star Wound Mound. It's getting warm in the sun, isn't it, bro? Jasmine Hill Gardens. So here we are, right here on the edge, and you can see This crescent. It's also got water present all through the middle, just as is represented at the crescent mound. You know, it's a lot of similarities, guys. It's a lot of similarities. Okay, let's look at this space. If I can hold on to this phone, flip it, and the leash. Yeah, of course, dude. You want to play fucking go between?
Not that way.
Right? That's the way we're gonna go. He knew he was going to show off the turtle.
Big turtle
on a big rock.
Funny, today I was holding a kind of a oud made with a turtle shell.
Oh yeah. So turtles are it's a great spirit animal, man. Slow down.
Well, it probably is, but the person that showed me the wood catch the turtle when he was young, and her mother made soup out of it. And so the shell eventually became many years later became an instrument.
A reminder, an instrument. Yeah. That's very cool, though. I've never had turtle soup. Have you?
No, I haven't.
Okay, good. I didn't think you were that backwards. No.
No.
Actually, based on geography, I'm the one that should have had it. Yeah. And just as I've pointed out in several videos, from Corn Creek, only a mile or so north, these islands are filled with worked items, petrified wood, quartz.
Although I love the name, I think Starwound Mound is the name you gave.
What impacted here?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. A conversation I'd had long ago with a friend. We were talking about the impact crater, and that was a word that got used in the conversation because we were talking about the power, of a place, right? And that was something that in my explorations I've learned to hone in on. It's an extra sense, really. Again, spiritual is one word for it, right? But extra, it's non-material, is what we would call it. Anyhow, that power is so very present, in this landscape and in this place, and naturally with all the quartz everywhere, as I showcased in those videos I put on the Discord, over there in that spiritual spiraling section, right? I was just walking through this landscape of these giant quartz boulders, nearly, right, and talking about what that must do when you're walking barefoot, with the positive ion exchange or whatever, all that, stuff that is when you're grounding, right? Yeah, so there's just a power in general. And he said in that conversation, well, I mean, star came crashing to Earth, naturally there's there's power there, like dummy, and I'm like, well, good point. So star wound, kind of stuck. And why did it so impact the natives of this area? One doesn't have to spend much time here to understand that aspect of this place. It's very impactful. I should have made a joke there.
Says the turtle.
I was too worried about getting the turtle again, man.
Slow and low. That is the tempo. I agree, dude. I agree. Now, this just genuinely feels like a bad idea. I mean, it's right here in the perfect opportunity for a photo op. I'd want to hop on it. Kids are going to want to hop on it, especially at night. And look what's waiting for you.
It's a pitchfork.
It's not a bad idea, Jason. It's a terrible idea. That's what it is.
Very odd choice of accessory is all I'm saying. I'm going to go over here and look at the rocket.
That shouldn't be allowed.
Not any
Someone
better in
trips
solutions,
and
is it?
falls into that? Ooh.
Dude, Dude, somebody does not have children or concern for humanity. And this is in the area. This is the social area of downtown. I'm on the back side of like the restaurants and stuff. So there's nightclubs, or bars, whatever you want to call them, taverns. It just seems like a god awful idea, man.
But look, one of the things I've noticed is they use iron rods to mark, because of the snow, to mark where the curbs are and where the road is and so on and so forth. None of those rods have tips of protection.
Right.
So anyone that goes by the road, by the side of the road and trips, it impales himself in one of those things.
Exactly, the curb, man. And funny enough, today I didn't get a video of it, but there was a little old lady, that walked in. Her actual words as she was walking past this thing heading south, her actual words, because she didn't want Jacob to get and jump on her, and I was, not letting him anyway. But she was like, "No, I mean I'd want to, but I'm so old. If he jumped on me, I'd fall over and break a hip." And I'm looking at the cliff behind her, and I'm like, yeah, especially up here. You're fucking right. That's deadly. And I didn't even realize, we were right here at this thing.
Look, Jim Shields was in the conference in October where I was in I can't remember the name.
Yeah.
Spanaga, I can't remember the name. Under the AAPS. And everybody was, speak louder. And he was saying, if I speak louder, I might fall off.
That'll throw the system off balance, and balance is precarious.
By the way, I don't think it was James. It was Lee. Lee is the one that said that.
Lee,
if I speak louder, I fall off.
Anyhow, I can't believe of all the the massive revelations of this video, this is the pause moment. But it's I don't understand it. I mean, it was kind of nice of him to put it backwards instead of sticking straight up, But in a way, it's kind of worse because you think it's innocuous, and then you lean back and, hey, honey, take a picture. Oh, and you're impaled. I mean, that's probably why it's rust colored, to keep the blood from showing,
The worst thing is if it was real, I'm sure there would be a few people that would love to ride it because it's dangerous. Until they go through a bump, they are made up by the movement, and they land on the wrong place.
Yeah, dude, and castration is imminent.
Oh, and it's very common amongst trauma with motorcycles because of the petrol tank.
Yeah,
it keeps parts of you when you fall down. So.
You have weird knowledge about motorcycles and petrol tanks. But
Look,
this
my
is
father gave me one when I was 11 years old, and I didn't spend a tank.
Really?
That's how much I loved motorcycles. He wanted to motivate me to get out of the house, do something out of the house, because I was stuck in my room all the time. But it wasn't enough. It lacks two other wheels next to the one that it has. So
a motorcycle I would have killed myself or badly wounded myself. I was bad enough on a bicycle, and I had a 4-wheeler for a short while, and a buddy of mine had a dirt bike, and I mean we were, I don't know, man, 7th grade, and that alone, it couldn't contain us. It was dangerous. We were fools.
4-wheelers are known for constantly trying to kill you.
Well, funny enough, 3-wheelers. My mother's father, my grandfather, he was 93, and he was riding his 4-wheeler down the 2-lane highway that ran through his land, going from one parcel to the next, and he flipped the 3-wheeler and cracked himself open. But yeah, I mean, what can you say? 93 and barreling down wide open on your 3-wheeler. I mean, it's not a terrible way to go.
Well, remember secondhand lions? They died trying to fly through a barn while upside down. Okay, that's how they died at 90 something.
Yeah, that's precisely the way to go, man.
On a plane that they built.
Yeah. Exactly. And I have a feeling that might be our future, but possibly boats instead of. They were trying to go where on that thing? It's just a bunch of barrels and some planks. What were
Oh,
they
it
trying to
floats.
prove? Fucking Azores with a no.
Look, a stick with a piece of meat, right, attached to the thing, and then sharks would push us.
In the right direction. That's right. They would not stick around to eat us. That would not be part of their formula at all.
We'll be too tired. Once
Man,
we
I-
release them.
I should have used this right here for my thumbnail. It's very Mad Max look at the impact crater. Yeah, that's how to get tourists to the area right there. This is come see us. Leave without testicles.
Do you have insurance? Come and visit us.
You better keep it together, boys. Otherwise, we're gonna take it from you. Squeal like a pig. Here we go. Let's keep moving.
Right. And look what's waiting for you.
The wood for the
Very odd choice of
handlebars,
accessory. That's all I'm saying. I'm gonna go over here and look at the rocket. It's probably not any better in its illusions, is it?
Hey, there's a turtle. Okay, as we come over to the cauldron turtle, creative and echoing, of course, the turtle we just saw at the bottom of the river. Come over here to check out the missile. What do we have here? Man,
Did you try to light a match to
The
see what happened?
messaging, dude, is very confusing.
Look,
Oh, look, it's a nice little art park. Let's go check it out.
one of my twins is doing her internship in a library.
Yeah.
And so she's at my sister's house. And so since she's close to a lot of stuff, she decided to go to the Gulbenkian Institute, which is a very old institution that supports arts and so on and so forth. And so she enters and takes a picture of this. It was an exposition of modern art, contemporary art, right? And so the guy had imagine a Greek or a Roman temple with the columns, right?
Okay.
And so everything was pristine and made to look like a temple. And so to finalize the art the day before the exposition opened, he went there and kicked the shit out of it. He broke it into pieces, and that's the art.
Yeah.
The art was he smashed all the columns and all the stuff, and that's the piece of art. So
And you're still going to line up to see it. So
Oh,
welcome to the show, right?
celebration of mediocrity, if
Yeah.
I said it correctly.
Yep, that's it. Yeah, I mean, these are creative and lovely, and I'm glad there's art installations. It's such a quaint little town, and then you walk around and find these. It's lovely. We'll just leave it at that.
I'm very confused by the art and its statements in this place.
That's how they build the crater.
Okay,
Those
one
missiles.
last one that I suppose is worth battling the leash and the phone for. Because we have roughly, minus the odd choice of Tin Man hat, probably just above the shoulders. Yeah, we've got what would have been the size of Chief Tuscaloosa, guardian of the Coosa.
That's the name of the statue. Yeah.
Oh, it is. Oh,
Yeah, look, guardian of the Coosa.
oh.
No way to know if the artist had that in mind.
Well, now we know how we could have
Nobody knew it was this close, man.
so many spears stuck into
In
them, but it
1834,
was
the
still
Wetumpka
fighting.
Toll Bridge Company built the first of 4 bridges spanning the Coosa River. 5 cents for pedestrians or $1 per month. So I'm guessing, oh, that's the first jail. Look at that. There goes the leash.
There goes the leash.
First jail in Wetumpka.
There goes the dog. There goes the video.
What a view. A lot better view than the jail has now. It's right up on Corn Creek.
Oh, it
Well,
reminds
of course
me
it's problematic, dude.
you're in the jailhouse now from
I gotta say to this
Oh
dog.
Brother Where Art Thou.
You guys can see the art.
Yeah, I've been in the modern one. It's not
So
pleasant.
we got Jacob's doppelganger
Look at this cat. It's marked just like Jacob.
eyeing us from down by the water.
It's a wild one, feral.
He's talking. I'm hunting. Do you mind?
Yeah, we come around and he was just staring up at us.
What do you
like,
say, dude?
You shall not
It's
pass.
your feline formula. Yourself in feline formulaic form. On the backside of there's the Mason Lodge downtown.
See, look, I told you, tunnels.
I did. Hold down the fort.
Oh,
What
the cat
your
is the
quest?
guardian of the
Okay,
lodge.
could
All right,
this
check
be
this out.
intentional? We have the high water mark, 57 feet 11 inches, April 8th, 1938. The high water mark is just above the bars in the first jail. Tom go. Man, did you have to sit in there every time it rained and like wonder?
I think it was part of the program to teach them how to swim.
That's a message.
It's wild, dude. I just, you know.
Here we go. Hang on, Jacob.
Look at this thing just below the high water mark.
Yeah, sit in there below the high water mark. Look out on the river.
It's wild.
Trade center.
Maybe some
view,
fish
anyway.
would go in. They have some
Little cool.
sushi.
Right.
Okay,
Here
so
we go.
the center is open, and if we look here, we have a marble representation, and if
Oh, you're doomed.
saw
You
my
touched it.
footage
You touched
with
it. You're doomed.
Nick, called Rejects. You saw us walk up this side of the mound, right, and walk down. I mean, come on, right?
Yeah, I mean, right here, you know, I was just sort of overwhelmed, man. I mean, it really, having stood on the mound so much on this backside, you know, it really looks like this thing, you know. It's no other way to put it. It looks like it, seems
Yeah,
like
high
it.
bank on one side and not
Yeah.
on the other.
Yeah, and the little lakes in the middle, which in reality were they made little, you know, the ponds like swamps. It's just wild. So many similarities.
Thank you for being with us, Brian. Thank you.
Looks like it to me.
Yeah, thanks for the support, Brian, and congratulations, bro. Really great. For those of you that don't already, check out Brian Corey Dobbs. You can see him there in the chat. Go find him on X. You guys have seen us work with him. You've seen our Mars disclosure. But that stuff it's erupting as we speak, and Brian is doing a phenomenal job of sort of, you know, sitting in that seat, that management seat with a lot of great guys, including John Ward and many others. So thank you, Brian, for supporting us, bro. We really appreciate it.
So I'm not going to take up any more time because we're going to have a presentation in a minute, and I'll probably film some of it.
Great, thank you so much. No, I don't think we run out. Did you guys sign in? Sure you signed in, yes.
It's nice meeting you.
How long were they here?
Oh.
The casino is just on the edge of destruction.
Yeah, it is, and of course the town. I mean, we're you know right here. So the town is built on it as well. It's wild.
Thank you, Brian.
You can see where it would have flooded back into there. That's why you got these little lakes. It's just like in the mound.
Downtown, they did
Creeks.
4 homes
Sorry, guys. Trying to speed through it.
Water.
in and around the community. And it's changed the whole function of downtown. But it was really, really neat because it created a crater that looks like the one you pictured.
Yeah.
This was in 85 million years. 66 million years was the one that hit Yucatan Peninsula here.
That's credited with wiping out the dinosaurs.
But that also, and it's in question, they think it created the Gulf of Mexico or Gulf of America, whichever.
Well, the Gulf. Man, I grew up around here saying the Gulf of Mexico, so you know, it's ingrained.
Correct. So, never know.
Look at a little island in Texas. It's wild.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that wild?
So this one is roughly 5 miles, right? Is that the diameter that's attributed? Where
Rim
does
to rim, it's 5 miles. It's 13 miles if you went around.
I knew I'd heard 12 or 13 somewhere.
This is it here. Perfect example of the crater. We are right now right about here. Okay.
Right.
And it came in from the northeast, a low projectile, wiping out the southern end of the crater. So
Right.
it might have been down. See you, folks. Take care. Be safe.
Bye.
Wiping out the southern end of the crater, because most craters are complete circles,
Yeah.
like the one in Arizona. And it was about the size of a major college football stadium, like Jordan-Hare football stadium. It's pretty good size.
And so its trajectory was responsible for it not being circular.
And some tsunami, because it was a marine.
We were
impact
shallow
crater.
sea at the time,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And it was, like I said, the size of a major college football stadium. It was at speed 43,000 miles an hour. Unbelievable. And so it was coming pretty hard and fast. And when it exploded, it created a crater. It wasn't discovered until 1891 by Eugene Henry Smith, who was a geologist at the time, was doing some surveying for mapping of Alabama when he came across this huge depression here.
Yeah.
And he wrote it up, but it wasn't anything anybody could do because it was 1891. So it wasn't until 1976 when another geologist was surveying for another mapping of Alabama when he came across this crater. And the crater at the time was a huge depression, as he said. And it was strange to him because the Appalachian Mountains stop like up at Jacksonville.
Right.
Okay, so he said, what is this? And he thought it was a volcanic crater. So he sent it into Washington. The feds sent back and said it's not a volcanic crater. And he just wouldn't settle for that. He continued to study and continued to survey, walked it around, found the center, which they call a rebound, and called a friend of his in Auburn, Dr. David King. Dr. King and he got a drilling company to drill down 600-700 foot down at the rebound. And about 500 foot, they found what they said is topsoil.
Really?
Which told them that it had to be some pressure
Great
from
force,
above.
Yeah, to drive it down.
And the bedrock that was down there was on top.
Wow.
So it really, really...
it really jarred the situation, didn't it?
And then the greatest statement that was made by Dr. King, they went down another 100 foot, and Dr. King said they found minerals that were not of this earth. So that was the meteorite.
That makes sense.
And it exploded. So
Yep.
people have come in and said, do you have big chunks of meteorite? We said no, because it was just
obliterated.
Perfect example.
Yeah.
And so it wasn't there's none of that around here. Nothing but minerals, as Dr. King said. And it was not approved until 2002.
Really?
And so we've had people move into this here. Our town is here.
Yeah.
I mean, everything is, people were living around here.
Built on it.
And we have to tell the people we want to have a tour one time a year, which was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, it was. And I missed it. I had my kids and I was,
Unbelievable.
because of the private land issue, I take it. Yeah.
And so a lady was in here about 3 weeks ago, maybe. She said, I've lived here for 11 years inside the crater. Didn't know that I was inside the crater until yesterday, she said, which was the day before she came
wild.
out. And so
That is wild.
the middle, as I said, is called a rebound. Those two pictures are from the rebound. That's where they did the drilling.
Very unique landscape.
Yes.
So I might use a little video and presentation with friends if you're comfortable with that later. I do
Fast forward.
podcasts
Well,
and
there is
stuff
there's a
online.
video.
Shallow sea that would have been all around this thing at the time.
Is there?
Yeah, I'll show you the video.
That
if
would
you
be
wanna see it.
perfect. Yeah, that would
Okay,
be great.
We'll show you the video.
Trying to fast forward. There we go.
This is a wonderful resource, and honestly, until I looked for it, I had no idea you guys were here. Absolutely love it.
So there's inside the crater.
Quite a
what he calls
landscape.
The rebound.
You know, I mean, it stands out so much around here.
So
I
that's
do a
the
lot
place
of
we can't
touring
visit
out.
because it's private land. Is that it?
Yeah. Yep. Once a year
Someone
they do.
owns the crater.
Well, much of that, the inside portion, yeah, pretty much all of it. It's not necessarily one person. They have a couple of people that have agreed to let them once a year do a couple of tours and go in. That's what he was saying. It just happened like 2 weeks ago. But yeah, private land. That's why all these pictures here.
Just out and around, and the rocks, you know, and everything that exhibit themselves here so dramatically out of nowhere. And it's so funny and ironic to think, as you say, that people live all on it and have no idea.
I know. Some of this area looks like it's from another planet.
It does. That's exactly what it looks like.
Jeez.
I wonder what the natives, you know, would have
I
thought
know.
of it, right?
No, that's not true. That's a good point.
I have a theory that probably won't fit with most of what academics would think, but you mentioned the date when this was first sort of documented. I have found a mound that I believe is a burial mound, but it's certainly a mound over towards Prattville that mimics precisely this crater. And I didn't realize it until I saw the map of the crater the other day.
To give tours at times. Erosion is setting in big time. This is
So that's the
basically
inside
what
inside of it here.
those pictures are over there. The cliff, the center of the crater.
Which, as you said a minute ago, it's why it's all sandstone. It would have been sand and
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
turned into this stuff.
Exactly. Chalk is what
Yeah.
I've heard it called.
Well, the red and the cream, it looked very much like what they call the Alabama clay, that red and white clay mixture. Same precise color pattern to it.
Oh crap! What did I do? Oh no, guys! I am retarded.
About when?
This is the
Yeah.
best way to cover this
Yeah.
gap.
Yeah, it was about to end.
I have this
Anyway.
gap right here between my stovetop and my countertop where food and stuff gets stuck, and it's
Alright.
super hard to clean.
How do we do that?
Do it.
There we go.
And of course, the quartzite, which is everywhere in the Coosa River.
This is tells us that in 2002 it was finally approved. But the greatest statement of them all is the last sentence where it says the Wetumpka Impact Crater is now recognized as one of the best preserved marine impact craters in the world.
And that may be a blessing in disguise of having the private land, huh?
Yeah. One lady came in here, and she did some geology work, studying stones and so on and so forth. And she said, has anybody told you that there's a possibility that if Dr. King would have went down 2,000 foot, he would have found diamonds?
Wow.
I don't think that's a possibility now.
It's probably fortunate. Yeah, exactly, man.
There's a casino. There's a
Right.
bridge right over here, 50 yards down here.
I'm sure I can find a
And
shovel.
here we
around
are
here
right
somewhere.
there.
Right.
There's Bald Knob. Obviously, there's the river, but
Right.
this is the outline of the display. That we
Yeah.
showed over there.
Right in the middle of the thing, we've got the town.
Exactly.
Well,
There's about 200 impact craters around the world. Australia has a bunch.
America
Northern
looks
Europe
like
has
it's a
bunch.
favorite
We have a
spot.
lot. And the largest one is in South
Europe and
Africa.
North America got fucked
The
up.
tip of South Africa. That's the largest
Often.
impact crater.
Okay, so we found the place open, and I've got to get.
Okay, so now it's just a little exposition. Yeah, let me stop sharing. And he and I had a couple of conversations off camera. Let me get back to you. There we go. About how mainstream thought. Well, what he brought up first of all was all of the explosions, in the sky, the airbursts that have happened over the past couple of days. You were mentioned because you experienced the one that went over Ohio, and he was sitting there telling me, "I'm
I
from
heard
Pitt."
it. I didn't saw it, but I
Right,
certainly
you heard it.
something.
It's an experience of it, and he brought that up, and as I sort of cut off his thought, imagine that. I said, yeah, but mainstream, does not allow catastrophism, to be part of the conversation, and he was, agreeing with me wholeheartedly. Yeah, so there you go, guys. You can find that video on X and catch the stuff on YouTube, the stuff we fast forwarded through. But all in all, I was trying to just get a little education myself on the crater, or at least the official story narrative of the crater. As I have spent so much time on the ground, investing and investigating the energy of the place, the quartz harvesting, and all that was going on with the natives at the time. Yeah, so it was educational for me. I hope it was educational for the audience, and I really believe that something we're going to have come out of this is, that's probably the last thing I can share here. If anybody's still with us, let me pull up and share this map to finish my thought. X, Shaman 711, share, home, big screen, not you, close, here. So, I think it's evident when you look at this here, right? And then I scroll right up to the LiDAR, that this thing is even oriented, just like the creek here is running just like the Coosa River runs on the mound, on the crater, right here. It mimics it perfectly. And
Are both aligned to north? I mean, the both images have north up.
Yeah, correct. Yes. So north-south, north-south. Right? And then the river, right through there, just as here. It's what it's what I see. Granted, it's just a theory. And as you look at the artifact, which I found washed out of this mound, it seems to mimic the same story. So to me, that was a wonderful thing, man. One of the greatest part of this process, for me, is that the story is ever unfolding. This is something I discovered years ago, right? Years ago. This was before any of the antediluvian stuff, right? So this has been a part of the story for me for a while, and to have it just open up, yesterday or 2 days ago, when I sort of remembered the map of the star wound in my head, is just a great part of this discovery and exploration process I'm on, tracing out the story of Chief Tuscaloosa. It's teaching me, and I hope everyone else, so much. And yeah, I can't help but see the identical nature, of it. Yeah, okay. I'm done sharing. And I'll come back to you. Where'd you go? There you are.
Come back, you're forgiven.
Yeah, so thanks everybody for bearing with us. I hope it was entertaining. I hope it was educational. And I hope you see something and give me some feedback on the theory I've put forth, that indeed was a representation. Of course, we have to do much more study to figure out who's buried there, but I'm holding steadfast with my assertion that it's going to be Tuscaloosa's son. Yeah.
But I still don't understand that part. You found oh, you mean on the crescent moon mound?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
So
I see.
it's definitively a mound, and again, just you can watch the video, but when trees have fallen over, and the fat wood sticks in, there's holes, down in it, and of course these artifacts wash out of the back where the creek, thanks to the construction, is now eroding the back of it. Yeah, and so you find these artifacts in the creek. Yeah, so you can see, into the back of it. However, once I found the clay representation then of that mound, that was early on in the discovery process. I realized, that this obviously this effigy looking piece looks like a sarcophagus. And of course, a little spiritual input and just a lot of time on the ground, that this mound would have had to have been memorial that happened after the battle, right? Now, when you think about how decimated the population was after the battle, right? So not only had the best of the best been summoned into this town and been destroyed, right, from the entire territory, but also DeSoto camped out here for 30 days, or so after the battle, and went around with 30 miles slaughtering everyone and burning every town. So this area would have been decimated, right? So while they're dealing, the survivors are coming back in and dealing with that horror, dead people everywhere in the woods, just killed where they laid. What would they have gone to great effort, or who, to memorialize, right? And who's the greatest we know or confirmed from Chronicles was killed in the battle? That was Tuscaloosa's son, right? Who also would be, taller than your average man. So that's yet another cool thing about what may be in that mound. But the newest revelation is that it mimics perfectly this impact crater, which is covered in this quartz, which was so vital to the natives of this area, vital in obviously a cultural and artistic way, and I'm sure spiritual ways, because when you're walking on these mountains, I mean, they're hills. They look like amphitheaters. Got some video up on that. At least I put on the Discord. And these giant quartz, and you're walking through there barefoot and grounding, and you realize that these people, would have been walking that way and living that way, not in our modern mindset. So consciously or subconsciously, they would have felt, just as I do, and anyone, that does it will, the difference of that place, and so that's what I mean by obviously vital in some way to them.
Yeah, I don't doubt that. I as soon as I saw it, I think it's a huge coincidence, and usually coincidence takes planning. So yeah. I'm just curious to see. I would like to see them both on a map, so we can see scale and if there is some kind of pointing to something, angles.
Yeah, there's a lot of material I put together, for sure. I just I wanted to rush this, so I obviously had some good material to hang out with our friends with, but also to go ahead and get on record this theory, because I think it's an important one. One of I'd say the most rewarding part of this whole Mobilla expedition for myself has been learning the capabilities of the natives, through Tuscaloosa's plan, through the earthworks, through everything, experiencing it sort of, firsthand as best I could. But learning the power that they walked with and exhibited, and lived with for a very, very long time. So to me, that's just further example of this. And yeah, so I'm excited, whatever it turns out to be. I love the process. The discovery process, finding things, and this is just a part of it. I'm excited to be part of it.
Well, in time it's going to start to be warmer, and the things that you have, trips that you have planned and haven't done, will now have the opportunity to come to fruition.
And the weather's perfect for the next couple of weeks, and so I've got a couple that are just waiting for the right day, man. That are very exciting as well. Yep.
And I'm just trying to pass some images from the camera, but you know how you try to select 3 or 4 images, and then the computer decides that you want to select all of them, and so he keeps pushing the select upwards until everything is selected, and so that is delaying a little bit. But while I do this, I can at least so that people have an idea of what is spirit rock. And this is the wrong one, this is the right one. While I finish this process, I can share my screen and you can speak a little bit of your thoughts about it. And of course, it's not on possible to let me push it up to the front. Now I should be able to screen window. Yes. And so share. And this is what Spirit Rock looks like.
The frog.
Yeah. So this is the first place where the peeping frogs, as they call them, come out and climb to this rock about a week before anywhere else. So that's quite intriguing.
No, it is really, for the audience to clarify. So there's a spring that bubbles up out of this rock. This rock, coincidentally, looks like a frog, and it is the first emergent point for the frogs in spring. It's an amazing sight.
And it is the starting, according to James Shears, that's one of the things we're looking into, it is the start of a long distance alignment group of, what should I call it, mounds and structures that ends up far into way beyond the horizon. It's like a sacred geometry spiral, but it has the it's like you see the violin. That's how he explained to me. You have the violin and other instruments, and you have that spiral at the end, right?
Yeah.
And it's like that. He showed me several other maps that have that same spiral at one end, and then it creates the alignment. But each time the alignment goes, the distance grows as the sum of the two previous ones, which is the Fibonacci sequence, and the angles also have some meaning, which is intriguing to me. Okay, now I've covered the images. I can shut down the camera, take the cable and connect my mouse, because I don't know how to work. Well, I do, but I hate working with
What are you doing? You're bye. I should have seen that coming. All right, I'm sure he'll be back with us. There he is. Ta-da!
I'm
You
not
shrunk.
there?
You shrunk. No, you're back. You went away and you came back like Rick Moranis. Honey, I shrunk
really?
myself. Yeah, you're further away.
Hmm.
Different angle.
I have
I
no
don't know.
idea what happened there. So, oh, I know what happened there.
The spirit rock Lilliputianized you. I just made up word.
I can explain. Instead of unplugging the camera, I unplugged my web camera. So I'm not on the camera of the computer and trying to change for the other camera, which it doesn't accept now. Why
Just
not?
roll with it.
Let's see.
Tilt it down. I don't know. My seat keeps shrinking on me. I gotta. Here.
Okay, now I'm in the computer camera.
There we
Now,
go.
I'm a bit darker now, which is stupid because it should allow the change, but apparently because
There I
we're
go.
live, it doesn't allow to do it. Did it change? No, I'm gone.
No. My seat lowered.
Okay, doesn't matter. Well, go back to the images.
Yeah, I'm
So-
still on the spirit rock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
in here, in this crack, which I think we can see from this side, there was a strong ionization smell. So there's some kind of energy there that creates these negative ions and creates the ionization. It's very strong, the smell. That day was. And I'm still waiting to go here with Tom Solberg, that is the person responsible for saving this rock, because there was a huge project for this area that he was the government responsible, and he saw the appeal for Spirit Rock, and so he managed to deviate the project a little bit and preserve the rock. And he has been, one of the things he discovered here is that there is a place that has a strong magnetism that puts the compass going round and round.
Wow.
So this is one of the offering places. The other one is right on top. It has like a, for you to place the offerings of tobacco. Let me fast forward to,
This is so cool. You can really see
Yeah.
the frog from there.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So there it is. And I can't find what does this here, because this is like a some kind of, it's not a crevice, it's a fungus or something like that. But you can see it in the photographs, but there it's you see the eye, but you can't understand what is actually making the eye. You see the top, so you can place the offerings. This is the arboreum. So that aligns to a rock that used to be in here. This is called Observatory Hill, amongst others along the way, but they removed the rock to place this building. And then it keeps aligning further into the lake, into this point here, and then to the point there. Each time the distance grows. Let me just move on to... So this is part of the arboreum, unfrozen here, just a few bits. Same place. Go to the snow. Look at this too. They're definitely looking for something.
Either that or trying to show you something, man.
Yeah. It's here. It's here.
What's here? These nuts.
Okay, so
If I was
So
Dave
this-
Chappelle, I'd hit my mic right there.
yesterday I had a person coming to me with a dog. He saw me with the cameras and came to me and said, "Have you seen the eagles?" And so he very attentively and politely took me to the edge of the lake and showed me where the nest of the eagles is, that I captured somewhere around forward. Oh, these two are huge. Huge birds. This is the females. The male gives from my neck. That's how tall it is. And these things fly. So this is the same scenery, completely different after the snow. I can't hear you. You're too far away.
It looks like a heron, but with red instead of blue.
Yeah. So this is already
It's beautiful.
with the snow. This is already on the trail for Spirit Rock.
It's so wild that that's what you're sitting in, and we just saw what I'm sitting in with everything blooming. It's incredible.
So this is from today, this morning.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Oh no,
I mean,
this is from yesterday, the day I didn't film anything. This is from yesterday. This fellow is here hiding. This is the stone.
Rue, you know, you don't have to watch if you don't like my style. Rue's busting my balls in the chat.
So
Late
in here,
Druids with Jason as your guide, it will take an hour or so to get out of the bus stop. You know, bus stops can be very enjoyable places,
Yeah.
Rue. It's where you plan, you know. It's where you take pictures. See, I'm trying to stall now just to make my point.
yeah.
Journey,
You see-
not the destination, bro.
There's a journey right here. See, this is my footprints on the pristine snow, and
Ricardo's
this is the
like,
coyotes.
stop interrupting me. Now, this was the moment. Let's tell the story now. You're going to tell it. But so this is, you're documenting here the moment where you thought you were recording, but you were not. Because.
Well, this is a picture I took with the photo camera, not with the filming camera, right? Because I only filmed going to the Spirit Rock, not coming back. In here, I thought I already had the footage. I was just having fun with the camera. The camera, photographic, not the filming.
Yeah.
And so, because you see, the guy was going so low that it was dragging his paws across the snow.
Yeah.
You see? So
And those are your footprints the whole way. That's
yeah,
awesome.
and this is the coyotes.
That's beautiful.
So This
So when you
has
thought you were filming, were you narrating at all? I mean, is there like
no,
lost
no,
narration? Okay.
just the birds, just capping nature.
Okay.
I don't have your voice, so I
Test.
just shut up.
Oh. Okay, fine.
This is the little creeks that go around this place.
Those are beautiful, dude.
Took a few of these places. I know it's just wood with snow, but well, and look at this.
It's
Do you,
gorgeous.
can you
Look-
tell me what's this?
Wasp, hornet, wasp.
It's enormous. It's
Yeah, it
just
is.
enormous.
That's a really big wasp nest. It is.
So the lake is frozen again. Look at this.
Oh, there's the cardinal. Yeah. Jacob was chasing a couple of those today.
So let me see if I find the. There's the nest of
There's
the
the
eagles.
eagle's nest. That's awesome.
It's-
Such a beautiful place, dude.
So it's way up there. So my camera can zoom in. It's way back there. And this I took this morning on my second trip. And look, I don't know if you can see it, but this is not touching the water. It must be a center that still is holding all of this, because none around is touching the water. It looks like
Right.
it's floating.
Yeah, it
Look at
does.
that.
Like that monument in Japan, the giant
You
rock
see,
that's
it's
carved
not-
out at the bottom bit. I see the shadow.
I was looking at this.
It's like a mushroom.
It's not touching the water.
It's an ice mushroom.
Yeah, this
Oh,
is
it's for
today.
Jacqueline.
Yeah, it was today, even more snow, so it's even more covered. Some frozen creeks. This is I captured like 3 minutes of this flowing with the other camera. I haven't seen the other. It's only when there is lots of water. So, did I film it with this one too? Oh, I filmed it with this camera too. So it's like the stone is right in the right place to make the waterfall. Sorry, a few pictures in other parts of the lake. So in here, I had to go through a little bit of the woods to get to this part. And I thought I will find the edge between the frozen water and the bank, right? Well, it so happens that what is beneath the mud when you're reaching the frozen lake is mud. So my boot was beyond the snow and into the mud. There's mud beneath the snow, which to me was a surprise. I was not expecting it.
I'm impressed you didn't lose a shoe.
No.
I've lost
And-
several sandals in the surprise mud.
And there are lots of these creeks. There are some places with. Oh, I didn't know I captured it. What is this?
Oh, look at
Oh,
that.
this is one of those birds, big birds.
Yeah, the big storks. looking
Yeah.
things.
They only step in line.
Yeah.
The paws doesn't go side by side. It's just one line.
Uh-huh. Fishing technique, I would imagine, right?
I don't know, man. They walk completely in line. I was trying to see if I could show you the nest in the distance, but apparently not. Okay, let's stop sharing. So this is a little bit of a tour here of the arboretum, as they call it. You have to keep in mind this was a land where there was more than 10,000 mounds. Right? There's less than, I don't know, 500 now.
You can't even picture that, man. 10,000 mounds.
More than 10,000, yeah.
Literally
So-
everywhere.
So the place where you're going to for the equinox has, I think it's the biggest effigy eagle, and it's bigger than a plane. It's just enormous, and so they farmed it But somehow, when they were mapping in the 30s from the air, they call it the ghost eagle because there was a shadow with the form of the eagle, although there is no mound, you know.
Wow.
But there
Yeah.
was a shadow on the fields, right? And
Yeah.
so, and then Richie Brown and the Ho Chunk, he's a representative and a native. They went there to map it, and they limed the outside so we could photograph it and see exactly how it was. And it's enormous. It's just a gigantic thing. All of this is gone because people were farming or just put the tractor and level the floor. What is that doing there?
That's it. That's what happened all over the country, man, and it's sadly still happening today.
Sure.
Farmland is a great place to find, you know, mounds and structures. I mean, everywhere around here, you know, you can go and see still what may have been a 5 foot or a 4 foot rise, you know, is now a 1 to 2 foot rise after all the plowing, you know, but it's still there.
But the thing is, we keep looking at the past by the things we find, right? And so we call it the Stone Age because we find a lot of lithic debutage and stone tools, right? But if we move forward 10,000 years, they will find the pieces of the people that is still doing that today because they won't find computers or buildings or cars or it's just the stone that we'll find. They think, oh, these people 10,000 years were very primitive. Look at the stones that the tools that they are making with stone, right?
Yeah.
And the fact is, if some big catastrophe happens during this period, the only people that will have more likely to survive is the people that already are still, I mean, doing as hunter-gatherers. Because for them, there is no change.
Right. Right.
Nothing changed, right? Probably more animals or less, depending of if it's close
The
or
same
far.
as it is today, right? There's a stratum of society that if everything went dark tomorrow, right, and all of the amenities that life has been accustomed to were gone, there's a stratum of society that would have no idea what to do. Certainly not long term, and definitely not day to day. There is another lower stratum of society that, you know, we could equate to modern day hunter gatherers. That, as you say, it might be darker or colder, but they already are equipped with the skill set, you know, to make it through and to even thrive in
Hey,
those
look,
catastrophic
the temperature is
environments.
dropping. Okay, let's catch it. Let's catch us an animal with a good fur, so make some clothes. Because
Right.
people aren't stupid.
Yeah, I don't think people appreciate catastrophism. You know, loop us back to the crater and the discussion and all, man. I really don't. I don't think people appreciate, you know, and here you can point out the work of like a Randall Carlson, somebody who's gone into great depth, showcasing what this particular catastrophe associated with the Younger Dryas years, you know, that particular one, what it did to the entire North American continent, right? And then let alone these many others that have occurred over the millions and millions of years. People don't
Think of
grasp
Doggerland.
that. Yeah, if it happened today, man, it's just everything goes to dust, and then water and wind and, you know, universal forces fucking move over the land, right? There's not much left. That's for certain.
No, and we produce nothing that lasts.
Right.
Everything we use it doesn't resist the environment. Even in our houses, things cease to work down and become useless, and you have to throw them away. So, let alone outside, they will just disappear.
That's why I refer to modern construction. You know, I've taken to using the term bricks and sticks, man, because when you look at, you know, these other societies, no matter what age in history you want to talk about, whether you talk Greeks and Romans or you talk some of the things we're interested in, the megalithic, right? They built with the stone in a way that would last, right, through the ages. Whereas today we just throw up a few little splinters and some mud bricks and go, oh, it's a home. But in actuality, if nature were to come to bear on it, no, it's not, you know.
it's I think that it's obvious that what we would find is people that got themselves into caves and were forced to reduce themselves to primitive tools or create their own tools, because you don't think taking your hammer, if it's a catastrophe is going on, you don't think, oh, let me pick up my toolbox. So, and that's all you're going to find. So saying that there was no technology, there was no knowledge 8,000 years ago, 10,000 years ago, it's just ridiculous, because we just don't know. We have no idea.
Absence of evidence is not evidence.
No idea. And you were showing that map in the center, and we could see America divided into two parts. And
Yep.
when they got together to create the Appalachians, I believe, because that's what I'm seeing there, they collide and create those ridge of mountains.
Yeah.
They say 80 million years. Do they actually know it's 80 million years?
Right. Right. That's why I always lead with, even talking about this crater, I lead with the official story is 85 million years, because again, even that dating and all gets a little questionable when you consider just 100 years ago, not even, did they actually declare this thing? It's like, as he was showing, it's like 2002 before they got all these official, declarations and documentation signed, sealed, and delivered, on this thing even being impact crater designation.
I understand that they have their methods to determine the age of geological events, right?
Right.
But I also know that they start doing that 200 years ago by evaluating how things change in the present. So to say that, oh, we know that the enormous fissure that exists in the Atlantic that divides both the Americas and Europe and Africa is moving at X centimeters a year, of X inches a year, going further away. But we start measuring that 200 years ago or less. Who is to tell that it wasn't faster or slower in previous times? If Chicxulub crater, that is the result of the 65 million year impact in the peninsula of Yucatan, if that happened 60 million years ago, why are there still tails of dinosaurs? So why do the Younger Dryas, why do indigenous people have tails of the mammoths and the the proboscideans that occupy that area?
Well, I mean, I think it's obvious that at least as far as the megafauna, flora and fauna goes, that obviously people were here in North America were coexisting with the giant sloths and the bears and all of
Yeah,
the.
but they don't want to say that you to say that. But the fact is, there is the oral traditions.
Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, look, there's plenty of scientific, we don't have to, San Diego, right? The Cerruti Mastodon site. I mean, I think that's potentially something like, I forget now, 200,000 years, right? Proof of primitive, human activity. But certainly White Sands is what, at like 28 or 30,000 years. And the megafauna didn't go extinct until what, 12,000, years ago. So obviously they were here. And at the Cerruti Mastodon site, I mean, they've got what seems to be evidence of humans butchering mastodons, so and of course their main theory, those who don't like catastrophism, for the longest time was that the extinction of the megafauna was due to overhunting. So they've accepted humans being part of it. It's like they don't take that into the fabric of the story at all. Like, what does that mean, man? I mean, there were giant sloths. There were bears the size of houses. What did that mean for people that were living here in North America at the same time? What were they having to do to
Well,
protect themselves?
If you are forced to believe that those huge herds of these different animals all of the sudden became reduced to very few numbers because of the Younger Dryas impact, and then humans took advantage and killed the last few specimens that exist because there were so few. It's easy to finish them up, right?
Starvation's on at that point,
But that doesn't mean the elephants might be sick, might not be. Sorry, not the elephants. The proboscideans are sick or starving or outside of their zone of comfort, and so they are weaker and easy to hunt. And obviously, if you have a tribe that needs feeding in difficult times, you're gonna attack that animal. So it's not you that caused its extinction. It was the event. You just killed the last few five that were there, right? So and the thing is, if you go to Europe, they'll tell you again and again that man was hunting these animals and working its bones and using it for tools, but not in America because it can't be. There was no one here, right? And now we are going back 18,000 years and maybe 22, 24. All of a sudden we are at 36. There are some parts where they want to push it to 36,000 years. And the indigenous tribes have oral traditions of 2 ice ages, not 1, 2. Right? And so you go and ask an archaeologist, and the archaeologist said, takes part of what corroborates part of what the indigenous peoples are saying, but then everything that contradicts the narrative, oh, that's just folklore. That part isn't for us. So are we accepting a few and throwing out others? Why? It's like the natives telling, like Jim was telling me today, that the natives were trying to explain to them that they call that a turtle mound. And academics don't accept it. No turtles. No, it's just folklore. It's theirs. They're explaining what they did. Okay, you don't deny the source. It's like denying describing what you did today, and they say no, you didn't. It's just folklore.
Yeah, exactly. You just made up those stories, and you made sure to tell them generation after generation because it was all pretend. Yeah, sure. No, definitely not. I was watching a conversation last night. I think it was Luke Caverns and Wandering Wolf. Last night when we thought about going on, but thank God we didn't because we got this video. But he was talking about the Temple of Delphi, right? Where I visited, and it's just an amazing place, scenically and acoustically, all kinds of crazy shit going on there. But his point was, when you look at the massive amount of construction these people did around these woo sort of ideas, you come to a realization suddenly that no, this had to have been real, right? Like, forget whatever I mean by that, right? In that time, in that place, that oracle and whatever she was prophesying, that shit was real, right? For those people, that was a real experience. There was nothing hooey about it. You don't go to these great links for hooey, And the same thing can be said about any great construction, like the pyramids. You look at it and go, why'd they do that? To put a dead dude in it. You sure? I mean, you fucking sure? Really? All that? I bet there's another reason. I mean, there's something
we have
probably
to put it
fucking
somewhere.
important.
We have to put it somewhere. So we decided just to.
It might be what we call magic, but it was fucking real to them. Humans don't do this for, can you imagine, man, if you're like one of the laborers on that job, what are we doing all of this for one dude sitting there? Oh, fuck that. No.
Well, I can understand. You find a lot of what they call mausoleums, which are these huge marble structures, that temples almost like that they build just to bury emperors and great leaders of big coalitions of nations. Right. But to go from that to a gigantic pyramid made of 4-ton blocks and 30-ton blocks and 100-ton blocks that have to come from far away in a country that has no wood, because they don't, unless you go back 10,000 years, and even so, it's tropical wood, which I'm not sure is ideal. But I don't know. I really don't know. But
it's
the date that they give us,
but to me, man, it seems very simple on its face. The fact that all of these subsequent temples and pyramids, right, that seem to mimic these three monstrosities. Of course, they would use them for what we traditionally would see in societies, human societies around the world, as the honor of the dead. The leader goes, "I'm going to make this important," like Trump, put its fucking stamp on it, right? It's like it's what leaders do, So to me, it seems plain and simple that this technology, since it degrades, over time, that they were attempting to replicate it and then dedicating it, of course, to the leaders, because the leader had to mass all the everything together to try to replicate these things. And everyone just about that they tried afterwards is fallen down. It looks like rubble, kind of like some of these pyramids I find here in Alabama, but those three still are there, just as a testament. I think that it's pretty obvious to anyone to see that just as we found them and wondered about them, they did too.
And I'm quite intrigued to see if you're going to pursue this idea of looking at the mound and at the crater. I'm quite eager to see what you
I
find.
think so. I think so. I think it's well worth it, man. Just to document that the natives were doing this. We're well aware of the landscape in that way. It's exciting theory. I'm sure we're gonna follow it out.
Yeah. See if it's scaled down, if it's in the same. The 2 points are in the same direction, and if they point to something, it'll be exciting to learn what will come out of that. So you have your work
I'm back.
designed for you. So,
I do.
I think we gave all we had today.
I know it's been a long one, man. I'm with you. I'm ready, and thank you, everybody. Let's look back at the chat. Everybody that stopped by. All right, we appreciate it, guys. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you found it entertaining. We hope you found it educational, and we will be seeing you again soon. I guess we've got Roundtable Friday.
Saturday.
That's right, Saturday this week. Perfect.
Because of the equinox
The equinox.
gathering on Friday. So.
Excellent.
And and we are hoping to have James Shears with us on Saturday. So we'll see.
Yeah. I'm
Maybe
looking forward to it.
maybe a few more people. I just don't know how I'm gonna put everybody on the camera in here, because James keeps wanting to have more people with us. So we'll see how I manage to put everybody on camera. But
get a mic extension cord and sit a little.
no,
further
I
back.
can put the camera on the television up there on the wall, and so it will capture the whole room.
Yeah, the whole room.
And we'll share the microphone. So
Perfect. I look forward to it.
we'll
All
see.
right, everybody. Thank you for
Thank you.
everybody that has stuck with us this long. We hope you enjoyed it. We love you guys, and we'll see you in a couple of days with a whole bunch of knowledgeable old people crowded around Ricardo. Sounds like a great time. See. Need a big pack of Depends diapers, just in case in there.
No, they're all in good shape. They're all in good shape.
I know they are, and I know they're very, very grateful for your services, and we're grateful to learn from
Yeah,
them.
we are very grateful for all their work.
Exactly.
And
All right.
It's just a shame that it's not widely known, but we are working on it. We're working on it.
We're gonna get it there,
Yeah.
Thanks to you, thanks to the Institute of Natural Philosophy and
Well,
Chris and everybody that's behind, making sure these things happen.
Chris Finneyfrock is the great soul behind all this effort. So a big
It's a
kudos to
beautiful
him.
thing, and we're happy to be sitting here a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so thank you everyone, and
There
a
you
very
go.
fun
There's
farewell.
another earth-shattering episode of The Shaman and the Philosopher, in which we documented that natives knew a fuck ton more than we're told.
Yeah.
Love you guys. See you soon.
See you